I wasn't hopeful on jail time being served. I might be a little more now, just because of the outrage that we're seeing. But I think, I don't know, like, so a lot of people had a problem when it came to the looting during the
Yeah,
riots,
yeah.
myself included in the beginning, I will say, but my opinion has changed. Myself included, I did initially when it came to the protests, whatever, I was fine with the protests. But once the looting of the businesses started, I was sitting there like, oh my God, they're just giving the police another excuse to kill them because they're robbing these businesses, whatever. As I did the show with hashtag, and I heard what Reddy and Solitaire and our guest Lisa Michelle had to say, and they were like, no, who gives a fuck? Like, we've been peacefully protesting forever, and that hasn't gotten us anywhere. That made me reevaluate my thoughts on the looting. And then, as I also began to see that it's not the Black people who are looting, it is undercover cops, number one, and white people. And this is something that I know a lot of other people and people in the Black community might have already known, but I never knew that. Like, I never knew that this, like, when these protests happen, that it's those people who are actually starting the looting to make the Black people look even worse than what the world already perceives them as. So I had no idea that was the case. I have obviously changed my mind on the whole looting. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you have to do. I also saw a post that said, if you didn't, something along the lines of basically like, you can't tell people how to react to their trauma if you never lived it. And so that also made me kind of just realize, like, at the end of the day, yeah, they're right. They had Colin Kaepernick in the NFL kneeling every single Sunday, and what they do, kick him out. Like, you know what I mean? There's been peaceful examples, and it never did anything. So yeah, I completely changed my mind, and I really, like, go for it. Burn down the cities. I don't care. And someone else said, you can get back the businesses. Businesses have insurance. Those stores have insurance. People's lives, you can't get that back. And it's true. So that's what I feel. I don't know. What did you think about that when you saw it? Like, how did you feel?
Uh, so the situation. So this, I got different perspectives on things in terms of when white people riot or protest or fight or get angry,
Mm-hmm.
they raise hell and they turn everything to ash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just remember that.
Yeah.
When white people do it, they're ready to they're ready to go down with this motherfucker as well.
It's yeah, sorry, not to cut you off, but examples are when the Vancouver Canucks didn't win the Stanley Cup, they fucking burned down Vancouver. There was another one from football in Minneapolis or Minnesota or whatever. Like, I saw a bunch of pictures of sports things that they burned down the city for. So
I'm
we
saying.
shouldn't, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
That's what
Like,
I said. When white people get angry, they raise hell and turn everything to ash.
yeah.
So let's put that out there for everyone who's listening. But in terms of like tactical things
Mm-hmm.
from historical standpoints, when we talk about protesting, right? The reason why some may have a more old style protest mentality in terms of what Martin Luther King did with
Mm-hmm.
his people versus what Malcolm X did. Malcolm X was never in the streets. People got to get that understood. Like, he was soapboxing. He was
Mm-hmm.
never in the streets. Like, he was not gang. He was not getting punched in the face by cops. He wasn't with his brothers of the Islam marching and shit like that. He was talking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he was a good talker. But I'm not trying to discredit him. I'm just saying,
Yeah, yeah,
when I bring this forward. So when MLK was doing what he was doing, his tactic was, we're going to practice a non-violent protest, and we're not going to fight back when we are beaten by the police, because we want to invoke emotion into the general public, the public of America. Seeing us get beaten and not do anything by the police is going to invoke emotion, empathy from the other white, and then humanize us
Mm-hmm.
into getting us our rights. Right? We're not gonna, at the time, like whenever they were doing this, at the time, the 60s, I believe, at the time when they were doing this, they were not seen as humans, 3/4 of a human being and stuff like that. People thought Black people were animals. So fighting back would only prove that Black people were animals back in this day when MLK was doing the protesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I heard that he wouldn't allow everyone to protest. He wouldn't allow every black person to protest, because he knew that in times of like this, people emotional standpoint would not be understood, and they would react in a way that would be unfavorable to the overall movement, right? So that's why certain people weren't allowed to protest, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So moving into 2020, and we're seeing people, excuse me, we're seeing people protest and turn up, you know.
Yeah.
They're saying they there's no point for the peaceful protest. We gotta turn things, we gotta turn up, we gotta destroy things, we gotta let people know how angry we are. And at the same time, it's like there has to be a tactic to it. And I don't feel like every one person has one particular view on how to protest, but what everyone is there collectively is because they want people of black people essentially to, for all these police injustices and police brutality and every other systematic injustice that's been set in place since the dawn of time in America, they want them shits to be dismantled.
Mm-hmm.
Dismantle the system. So I mean, as long as that everyone has the same goal, how they get to that goal is all going to be different.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I'm not mad at the loot. I was even talking to my friend. About the looting. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I definitely feel like over the week I learned a lot in terms of, I'm always learning when it comes to these injustices, because I've been very vocal about the fact that myself, not being black, I never knew that this was even a thing that has been happening for years until I heard about Trayvon Martin. That's when I really came to know that this was actually a thing. So I'm always learning when it comes to this, and I'm happy to learn, obviously, because I do stand with the Black community. And so my opinion completely changed since last week. And I think what really resonated with me was, I'm not the one who faced all these years of trauma. So I don't have the right to tell them how they should be protesting and what they should and shouldn't be doing when I'm not the one who was ever in that position. So, yeah.
It's one of those type of things. It's like, I think I saw what I saw. I saw a video on Twitter, right? And that gave me a clear sign of everyone's there for a collective reason,
Mm-hmm.
but how they go about it is all skewed and it's different. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to say skewed, it's just different.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this video. In this video, the man was like, tip over the car, tip over the car. And he was like, and the black guy looked at him in the camera, was like, the fuck you talking about, tip over the car?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, we're not gonna destroy anything because it's gonna come back on the black community and make them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what point of the undercover cops is doing. They're making us, the black community, look bad as if they're savages.
They're playing more on the societal image that's already been portrayed on the Black community as being bad people, and they're playing more on that. There's videos I've seen. Vinny from Jersey Shore, surprisingly, has posted quite a few videos of, there was the one of the Black men guarding the one officer who got separated from the rest of the officers, so they were protecting him from getting beat up by any white people who were inciting violence at these riots. There was the one of the white lady spray painting Black Lives Matter on the Starbucks, and the Black woman confronting her saying, we didn't ask you to do this. And then the one of the Black people blocking anyone from looting the Target. But the media doesn't show you that. They don't want you to see that because they want to continue to play on this image that Black people are bad people. I think one of the videos that also recently resonated with me a lot was the one in Atlanta on, I think it was on CNN, where there was a white girl in her car with, I don't know who, we only see the girl on the passenger side, and a Black couple behind her, and the police come up to the Black couple, start breaking the window. The white girl's just out the window waving like, hey, it's the fucking Macy's Day Parade, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's just out there waving all excited. And then the Black couple behind her in the car, this is all over curfew, mind you, and she's also out at the same time. And the Black couple in the car behind her is getting the living fuck tased out of them. The car window got broken. They got dragged out. And like, it was just ridiculous. I was like, this is all over curfew. So how come nobody went over to the white people in front of them? I mean, I know why, but like, it was fucking ridiculous.